episode 6. With me is the co-host Marc. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. And Marc, it was lovely to see you in person yesterday.
It was nice to finally catch up. Yeah, it's been 4 months, I think.
At least 4 months. So we've been at a stay-at-home order for a long time, and then Christmas and work and everything. We've just been doing these remotely.
Yeah, it's been a long time working from home, so it was nice to get out. Thought we'd get together, and we were obviously meant to go to the Auckland Aces game, but we were not allowed to do that. So we thought, well, do you know what? I'll come round to yours. We'll sit, watch the game. We'll record the podcast. And that didn't quite happen.
Well, this is what we recorded.
How many dudes you know boat like this? How many dudes you know throw like this? Not many, if any. Not many, if any. How many dudes you know got the skills to go and whack a six like this?
Yeah, we absolutely ruined Scribe. So for those who are listening from overseas, Scribe is a New Zealand rapper from Christchurch, I think. And yeah, instead of recording a whole episode, we decimated that. And I'll tell you who's to blame. Auckland Cricket is to blame for that, because we said at the start, do you know what? It's a hot day. We need to keep hydrated. For every wicket that Auckland lose, we'll have a drink.
Well, we're feeling it.
Yeah, this is going to be, this might be a short episode.
Yeah, so that happened. I couldn't even tell you what player it's about.
I don't even remember how it started. I don't even know where it came from.
You just started rapping.
Which is not something I normally do when I've had a few drinks. I do some weird stuff when I've had a few drinks, but rapping generally isn't one, because I can't rap.
As you can see.
But it was just so weird.
It was... Anyway, so we're here, we're recording this podcast, we're going to talk Ashes, we're going to talk SuperSmash, but next week we'll do a quick sweep, and we'll try to keep this on track. No more rapping.
We'll see. Starting off with the sweep, have you got any puns that you want to make this week?
No,
following on from last week?
Puns.
No, you're out. Oh, that is such a shame.
Peak pun last week. Well, the best I could come up with. Oh, no, I don't.
Is this on the fly as well? You're going to make this up as you go along? This could be hilarious.
No,
go on, off you go.
Okay. I'm already embarrassed for this one, but all I can think of is, let's get into the Anaru kitchen and pull out our broom to sweep. That's it. Don't even look at me. Don't even.
Should we just... Do I delete that, or do we carry on? I think we have to leave it in, to be honest. Christ alive. That is so bad. Maybe we should have thought of something after a few drinks, because we're a lot better at this sort of stuff, at being creative after a few beers. But anyway, yep, let's head into the Anaru kitchen, grab a broom and have a sweep. Let's go. We'll start off with the Pakistan-West Indies 2020 series. Pakistan with a clean sweep. They obviously went into their kitchen, got the broom out, because they did a 3-0 clean sweep of the series. First game was won by 63 runs, second one by 9 runs, and the final game was a high-scoring game. West Indies batting first, 207 for 3. You're thinking, do you know what, pretty decent score. Pakistan knocked it off 3 down. So, 208 for 3.
Pakistan are in form with their T20 team at the moment. Really excited to see what they bring over the next few months. Meanwhile, India and South Africa are gearing up for their Boxing Day test coming this weekend. We will keep a keen eye on that. Of course, South Africa touring New Zealand with a test team early in the new year. So I'm very excited to see what will happen there.
Yeah, be good to keep an eye on them and see who is in form.
Exactly. Meanwhile, Big Bash keeps going over the ditch. Wins for the Thunder Strikers and Scorchers in the past week. Still no wins for the Renegades.
That's my only contribution to that. I'm loving it.
That's all you do. You're going to laugh every time I say
that.
All right. Meanwhile, Tom Curran has been ruled out of the rest of the Big Bash with a back injury, a bit of a kick for his team. He is a very good T20 player. Has to go back to the UK to do his rehab due to restrictions and whatnot. Can't hang around. So, bit of a shame for Tom Curran.
It is, yeah. He's had a good sort of time of it in the Big Bash over the last couple of years. I think he plays for the Sixers. So yeah, he's been quite an integral part of their team. So that is a shame for him. It's also a shame for England because they, as we will touch on in our Ashes second test review, could do with dropping at least 10 players, and he's one that you could potentially look to bring in given that he's in Australia. But yeah, speaking of players that you probably won't look to drop in the next test, Jimmy Anderson, the evergreen Jimmy Anderson, brought up a unique milestone in the second Ashes test. He was the first player to reach 100 not outs in test match cricket. First player to ever reach that milestone. So he's been not out 100 times.
How bizarre. That's not who I would have thought.
No, and the second closest has only got 63. I can't remember who it was. I looked at that stat the other day because he also holds the test record for having the most consecutive not outs on, I think he's 33. Had 33 consecutive red inkers. So yeah, for someone who can't really bat, he's done a pretty good job.
Well done to Jimmy Anderson.
We should probably get the second Ashes test review out the way pretty quickly. Not much to talk about. England still suck.
Not great for England. We thought it might go alright with Pat Cummins ruled out of the second test. He had to self-isolate due to being a close contact of COVID-19. So we predicted that Jai Richardson would come in for an injured Josh Hazlewood. Technically he did. Technically we got a prediction right.
He did,
but Nessa also came in when Cummins was ruled out. Both of those players having a pretty good game.
Yeah, Jai Richardson got 5 for in the second innings, so he bowled pretty well. Yeah, Australia won the toss, batted first. As you'd expect at Adelaide, does generally tend to swing a lot more. And it was interesting to see Smith, actually, he stated that he wanted to bat first mainly so they could control the game, so they could dictate when they bowled at England with a new ball under lights, which I thought was probably the most interesting part of winning that toss. And they, just 473 for 9 declared in the first innings. Warner, Labuschagne and Smith just absolutely dominated. England's top order is as flimsy as a wet cardboard box as usual. So they were 12 for 2 at one stage, and then Milan and Root got a good partnership going. They got 140, and you're thinking, do you know what, here we go, time to get ourselves in the series, set a good platform. And then that flimsy cardboard box came back once again, and we lost 8 wickets for 80 runs.
That's terrible.
It's not good. It's the hope that kills you. I've noticed this following the football team that I follow, and also obviously following England. They get into a position where you're like, do you know what, this is it, we've got hope, and then they just snatch it away from you like candy from a naughty child.
Your mate Ben Stokes not having a great time with the bat so far. Anything to say about that?
He'll come good in the next test. He's been out for 18 months. I can't really. Yeah, of course you can. Of course you can, and I will until he makes 100, which will probably be in a couple of years' time, and I'll still be like, oh, do you know what? Given that he was out for 18 months 5 years ago, it's done pretty well. Now he's bowling really, really hard yards with the ball, and trying to. I think he got 3 wickets in the first innings, to then come out at a point where England had been in trouble previously, to come out and try and save a test match for England. There's just so much responsibility on his shoulders with the bowlers not performing, the batsmen not performing. He obviously can't. He just can't do everything, unfortunately. So he'll come good.
He'll come good. So yes, England losing 8 wickets and 80 runs. Australia came in. She got into a bit of a trouble first off with Labuschagne going early.
Yeah, well, that was a really interesting period. I was watching that, and Smith, I think, got out first. Should have been out first ball. Josh Butler took an absolute screamer off Marcus Harris down the leg side, and then dropped a regulation straightforward catch second ball. First ball to Steve Smith, then second ball he was out absolutely plumb LBW. Which the umpire gave not out, and he remained not out on umpire's call on impact. And then I think he edged his third ball as well, but it fell just short. But it was a testing period. But yeah, at one stage they were 55 for 4, Australia, which in isolation sounds like they were struggling, but they still had a lead of that at that stage of about 290. So effectively they were 290 for 4, so it was already game over at that stage. But it was good to see England's bowlers just have a little bit of fight in them.
Was, yeah.
So yeah, that was good, and then it all came crashing down again. Labuschagne got 50 odd, and Head got 50
which is bad for
odd.
Labuschagne. Like, come on, he should be getting over 100. So we'll take that if Labuschagne's only getting a 50.
Yeah, for sure. Good signs for England that we can get him out. We know how to get him out now. Yeah, tell you, Boxing Day, gonna win by an innings and 400, I reckon, easy.
Can't wait. Travis Head had a bit of a day though, getting England much more into. Getting Australia into a much more dominant position. We thought England might be able to hold on for a draw. They were looking okay at one point in their 4th innings. Hamid not looking that good. Not really stoked for his. He's not having a good day. Rory Burns held on though.
Yeah, it was good for Rory Burns to get some time out in the middle, but yeah, Hamid he fell into the trap that so many English players have fell into. Like, obviously Labuschagne and Smith are 2 freaks, but you look at how Australia go about their innings. They leave the ball really well. They trust the pitch, they trust the bounce. Obviously, it's a mindset thing. You play in England. Hamid played for Lancashire growing up, so they're sort of generally slower, lower wickets that do more off the pitch. But he just needs to learn to leave the ball. Tries to play at every ball. Same for Rory Burns. He got better as his innings went on. And then England's middle order. Root got 24 after being sconed in the Nads twice. Once at the start of day 4, I think it was, and then the second time was towards the end of day 4. So he won't be having any more babies.
No, no, he won't. Jai Richardson also taking a fifer in that innings. England losing the second test.
They did. Shout out to Josh Butler and Chris Wokes though. They gave England a lot of hope again. They built up the hope. Josh Butler 26 off 207 balls. And you're thinking, do you know what? They could actually do this. Like, the pitch looks really placid. It looks really easy to bat. And then he was just like, psych! I'm going to kick me stumps over.
Yeah, and it was all downhill from there.
It was.
So, we put out some predictions on the Twitter. The most common result was that England would lose the series, so it would be 3-1 to Australia. So currently it's 2-0. You've got Australia to win, England to win, and a draw. Where do you think that'll happen? If it will happen.
Well, at this stage it's looking pretty promising for a 5-0 clean sweep. I actually think England could win the Boxing Day test.
I actually think the same.
Just
draw.
I think this is the worst Ashes performance, the worst team I've seen since I started following cricket, and I think they know that is the perception. So I think they've got a lot to prove. There's a bit of a break, I guess, of 6. There's like a week break, I think, between this test. There'll be a lot of soul searching, a lot of obviously sitting down meetings and stuff like that, figuring out where to go. I do expect that there may be a change or two in the team. I think Mark Wood will probably come back in.
Yes.
I hope Chris Wokes goes out because he's offered absolutely nothing with the ball whatsoever. And you can't pick a bowler who's a decent bat to shore up the lower order, because that's not his job. You've got to back your batsmen to get top 7 batsmen. You've got to back them to get the runs. I think Australia will win at Sydney. I think England will win the Boxing Day test, and then it will either be I think it might be a draw at Hobart, because I actually think that it might be weather related. Hobart, especially with a day night as well.
I think that's a good prediction there. That's kind of what I was thinking as well. Maybe draw the Boxing Day, win Hobart, but I think you're right, the weather will play. Australia have just come out and confirmed the same squad will play in the next 3 games. We expect Pat Cummins and Josh Hazlewood to be available for the Boxing Day test. Probably Nessa and Richardson to sit that one out, assuming Josh Hazlewood is completely fit.
Possibly. Playing devil's advocate, would you drop Mitchell Starc and keep Jai Richardson in the team? Confident, just got 5 for his tails up. Mitchell Starc's done okay, but hasn't really set anything alight. apart from
I
the
think
first ball
Mitchell
on
Stark,
the first day.
Yeah, well, that's it. He always takes a really key wicket at a key time, Mitchell Stark. Yes, I would like to see Joe Richardson play the remaining test. I think he's a good, quick young bowler. Personally, I don't like him, based on one specific reason. Would you like to hear why?
I would love to hear why. You don't like an Australian?
Okay. No, specifically it's because when I look at Joe Richardson, I think he looks exactly like the actor that Josh O'Connor, who played Prince Charles in The Crown, and Prince Charles is very mean to Diana, and we stand Princess Diana. So that's why I don't like Joe Richardson.
I never thought that a fictional royal family series would be the reason that you don't like an Australian Test fast bowler. That is some straw you're clutching at there. But good to know. Good to know.
The only good thing about that story is that Joe Richardson is on the first 11 of Celebrity Doppelgangers.
Okay. I'm looking forward to that first 11 when that comes out.
That likeness.
It'll be quite fun.
It will be a good one. All right, we will see what happens. Hopefully England will at least clinch a draw in the Boxing Day test. It is a huge test. It's at the MCG. It's historic. We love it. Go England.
It would just be nice to see us score some runs.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if Hamid will play.
I don't think
but it'd just be nice for the top order to not be 7 for 5. And yeah, just get some runs, lads. Yeah, just get some runs. Get yourself up to like a nice 50 opening partnership. Set the platform for the rest of the fellas to come out and score some runs and just get up towards that 400 mark that Chris Silverwood, who's the current England coach, who probably won't be England coach for much longer, he always talks about wanting to get to 400. That's his magical figure. So yeah, go England. Still supporting them through thick and thin, but it is very testing.
SuperSmash continued 4 games this week for each of the teams. Well, 4 games for the men, 4 games for the women. Now, Mark, the SuperSmash is known for bringing in a lot of young, really keen cricket players. We've got Finn Allen, Rachel Ravindra, Ben Sears. But this week, the old guns. Well, I'm going to get in trouble for saying that. But it was the
more established players.
The more established 30-plus players who had an incredible week. So let's have a look at what happened. The Hearts took on the Brave. The Hearts on Friday. The Hearts winning thanks to a 50 from Holly Huddleston. Also taking 2 wickets there. She's been on the scene forever. She is just incredible.
Yep.
Excuse me. The Aces were back, taking on the Brave. Guptill with a 47. Not good enough to win, with Colin de Grandhomme scoring 53 for the Brave and Joe Carter 75. I believe Joe Carter is 29, so I will not say that he is too old.
Oh, next year, Joe. Next year, mate.
Next year, no. He'll be in the old ones. The Sparks bowled the Hinds out for 75 on Saturday. A very easy win there for the Sparks. They're on such a roll at the moment. The Stags beat the Volts thanks to a 76 from Greg Hay. Obviously back for the first time in 7 years. And then his teammate Seth Rance took a 5-for in the Stags bowling innings. So 2 established players simply winning the game.
Good result there for the Stags.
Yeah, really good result for the Stags. I think the Stags have got a really good chance of taking this tournament out. They are doing a lot better than some other teams. On Sunday, Blaze cruised past the Magicians. Now, Millie Kerr got a half century. I know she's 21 or 20, but she's been on the scene for so many years. She's
actually a household name. I didn't realise how young she was. She seems to have been around forever.
Yeah, when she was 14.
14? Wow.
14. Magicians couldn't chase it down that total, but Frankie Mackay had a gallant effort with her own half centuries. And team favourites, the Firebirds, went down to the Kings. Not much to score. Really, Firebirds not a good score. Is what I will say. Now,
yeah, quite surprising that, because Firebirds are a good team, aren't they? But I guess every team has a game where they just don't fire. I guess no pun intended there for the Firebirds.
But a highlight was Hamish Bennett had to come on and bat for the first time in 3 years. He's played 68 matches in the SuperSmash. He has scored 25 runs. Well, after Sunday, he scored 26 runs.
That's a good solid one.
I know. He never had to take the never had to take the pitch for so long. Rumour is he doesn't even take a bat or pads to the game. He just borrows someone's.
Yeah,
I don't know who he borrows because he's like 7 foot tall.
I was gonna say, imagine taking all of that kit, because most of the heavy stuff is obviously your bat and your helmet and like all of your batting equipment. Imagine taking it every game for 3 years and not having to use it.
Well, he doesn't take it.
He doesn't.
So.
Yeah, fair enough. I'd do the same.
He probably just steals. I don't know. Van Allen's.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Sure Van Allen's bat's got magic in it anyway. Anyway, Chad Bowe scoring a 62 for the Kings. They cruised home. And then yesterday, as we talked about, cricket returned to the Tamaki Makaurau. The Hearts beating the Brave in the 19th over, and Pedersen 3 wickets in a 27, helping her to the win. And then the Aces had a shocker.
Yeah, I was just about to say the Aces turned up, but they didn't turn up.
Well, this is the funny thing, is we were watching the game and I thought, really funny, I'm going to say Lockie Ferguson's going to top score.
Yeah.
He did.
And he did.
He did. He got
he
26,
did.
I think.
I think I said that Ben Horn was going to top score, and he was on 8 not out at the time. And then very next ball, he top edged onto deep backward square and got out. That was another drink. Lockie Ferguson did well. Played some really, really good shots. Just, obviously, again, coming in at number 8 isn't the guy you expect to win the game with the bat. And then the Brave chased down 93 pretty easily. There was a few hiccups in there. Obviously trying to get net run rate up and stuff. But yeah, they won it quite comfortably in the end.
They did. SuperSmash rages on this week. Games across the summer period, starting on Thursday, and then Christmas at the Basin on Friday, and then we will keep an eye on them as we go throughout the new year. Mark, I'm still thinking about how those established players had a really good time in the SuperSmash, and I'm still thinking about how Jimmy Anderson got a record this week. So, our first 11 of the week is a first 11 of players who played when they were aged 40 plus. Not saying that any of those players that we mentioned are 40 plus, but this list there is. Now, in at 1 we have, of course, Chris Gale.
Still going, Universe Boss.
Still going. Still Universe Boss. At 2 we have Jack Hobbs. At 3, Jeff Boycott. And now I do not have a 4 or a 5. If you've got an idea, let me know. But in at 6 I have Shahid Afridi. And at 7, M.S. Stoney, one of the greatest. And at 7, Brad Hogg. At nope, I've said two 7s. Oh my lord, I'm so excited about this. M.S. Stoney's at 7. Brad Hogg is at 8. Oh lordy. And at 9 we have Mattia Muralitharan. And at 10, Bert Ironmonger. And I do not have a number 11. So if you have any ideas who could fill in the 40 plus, or any predictions of who might be in this XI in the next year or two, let us know. I'm going to say Jimmy Anderson.
Yeah, I'm just looking to see at what age Don Bradman retired. Because I wonder if he would have been 40 plus. Are we talking 40 plus internationally or 40 plus? Because you can also wait, if you haven't got a number 11, you can wait for about 6 months and then Jimmy Anderson will be in there.
Well, Jimmy Anderson doesn't retire at the end of the Ashes. So the rule of the first 11 book is you have to be either playing internationally or playing at a first class level. So obviously SuperSmash, Big Bash, 100, anything like that, unless you bowl an 18 ball over, and then you get a special exemption to be in the first 11 of worst bowling overs.
Oh, am I in that? Oh, no way.
I think you are.
Oh, fantastic. So let's see if I can figure out when he retired. I can't do it very quickly, so we'll look into that. But yeah, if you guys have any suggestions as to who you think could make that cut, then feel free to drop onto Twitter at back of a length with a little underscore, or Instagram at back of a length.
Well, this week we thought we will leave the poetry review because we wrote such a great rap at the start, and said we will play the rap out as our ending, because I know that you are just desperate to hear it again.
Really are. Yeah, I've got so many things lined up. I've got the Harry Potter audiobooks lined up. I've got a rap career as well. We're going places, mate. We're going places.
We are going places. I'm really excited to set that as my ringtone going forward. Oh well, so we will leave you there. It is Christmas this week, so Meri Kira Himiti from all of us here. We will be on Instagram, on Twitter at Back of a Link, watching the Ashes, watching the SuperSmash, watching everything else. Next week, we will talk about the Black Caps returning to home soil. In the meantime, have a good week.
Have a great Christmas, and if you are happening to play any backyard cricket over the festive period with family, then feel free to send us your videos. Also, we thought as well you guys might want to get to know us a little bit better, so if you do have any questions for us, cricket related or not cricket related, we will pick the best ones, and yeah, we'll talk about them either in the next episode or the one after New Year. So feel free to submit any questions or anything that you want at all. Just head on over to the Twitter page or the Instagram page and let us know.
Unless your question is, can you stop rapping? The answer is no.
That's a definite no. We'll read it out and we'll give you a big fat no right on air. So
no. Speaking of raps, here we go. Have a good week, everyone.
Have a good Christmas.
How many dudes you know bowl like this? How many dudes you know throw like this? Not many, if any. Not many, if any. How many dudes you know got the skills to go and whack a six like this?